Okay, it's fun to figure out how do we finance discoveries in Mexico. You know, there's been over $8 billion raised for exploration and for development and for mining in the last 6 months. Who's paying for you to be here today? How are we getting here? What's happening? So let's look and see. So first off is for financing in Mexico, it takes a team of people. In fact, Doug Coleman here, we gave him a round of applause for the great conference, but also for his actually helping with this talk today. What Doug has is an amazing database. And what Doug has done is worked with Riverside in looking at what's happened in financings for the last 6 months. Now we also have here Pedro Herrera, Ron Burke, and other members of Riverside team that have helped to put this together. A forward-looking statement that I couldn't read from here, and I'm sure you can't either, which basically says is I'm a CEO and an enthusiastic president of a company. Apologize for the slowness in this thing. It doesn't seem to be moving very well. So the talk outline starts off with some recent examples from the market of what we've been doing, also some different methods that we've been seeing in terms of financing. Some of the big deals that we've seen and the flows of money, some of the all the recent discoveries that we've done, and particularly what we really want to talk about is how do we creatively survive during those lows? And now with financing, we're getting things to move ahead. Muy bien. Okay, basically, the market started to take off. We're starting to see a movement in the markets, and what the markets have done has really been going because of the strongness of the US dollar, the strength of the American money is actually forcing people to want to invest in other places. Our dollar goes further. So with financings, there have been much money raised, $8 billion raised. In Mexico, we've only had less than 350 million of that come to Mexico in the last 6 months. A lot of the money wants to come to Mexico. It's nice to be able to come to Mexico. The exchange rate has made it more popular. So if you have a US-funded business and you're able to bring it into Mexico, you can go further, you can get more done. But really where the financing dollars has been going is more into Canada. Well, one of the things that's happening is here in Mexico, we're not able to actually spend the money necessarily efficiently. We have had a history over the last 6 years of not putting forth new titles, not getting out projects, not being able to forward them through the different processes. Also, we've had some challenges in permitting. Those type of blockages are causing capital to not come here. The market is taking off. The rocket ships, things are blasting, the market is really going. But here in Mexico, we're not seeing it happen as much. Over the next 3 days, we're all here. We can actually work together to actually discuss what are some things, some tactics that we can do to work to make it go better. Some of the things that we've seen go on, and we just had a great talk about the success at El Tigre, Oceanus Gold, has been lots of private placements. Over the last 6 months, we've had in private placements over $85 million raised in private placements, and companies like Kootenay, Almaden, Oceanus are many examples. Also, there's been financings through farming the project to someone else. For example, as Urjur Minerals was able to take a project from Teck, and now Teck is spending 3x that amount of money back to doing exploration. So there are new discoveries happening in Mexico. How are they being financed is actually quite diverse. Some of the other diverse ways is through purchase earn-in agreements, like the purchasing of Plata Latina, where Fresnillo is buying into things, or the joint venturing. Another is actually through strategic alliances, or particularly through initially trench work and then doing drilling. So we can see these type of different structures that can help finance exploration, can finance new discoveries. So in Mexico, we've had 12 new discoveries in the last 12 months. Some of those new discoveries that we're seeing are coming from different types of structurings, not simply from private placements, but instead also through joint funding, joint development, and in fact, even like Silvercrest Metals in a spin-out. So inside the portfolio of what was Silvercrest Mines, they had quality projects that were not able to get the capital. How do you finance discoveries in Mexico is you bring the conscience, the knowledge of these projects forward. One of the ways you can see those projects coming forward is in the commodity that you focus on. So over the last 6 months, the finance